Okay, boys and girls, for this next part, we're going to be using the value of a trig function, and this will help you with numbers 47 through 52 on page 271, okay? You don't need your unit circle, but I would say both of your index cards, okay? So the two examples that I'm going to do with you are numbers 47 and 51, okay? So the instructions are pretty simple. They just said use the value of the trig function to evaluate each function. Okay, so sine of t is 1/3. Okay, so I want to look at this index card, okay, the chart on 269. So we know that sine of t is 1/3, and according to the chart here, sine of negative t is the same thing as negative sine t. So I'm just going to write this, negative sine t. Okay. Well, we know that sine of t is 1/3. So this is 1/3. So technically our answer should be negative 1/3. Okay. This is what's given, and I can just substitute. Sine of t is 1/3, and of course negative. These two are equivalent, okay? It's as simple as that. We just need the index card to look at it, okay? And for part B, they want cosecant of negative t, so I'm going to look here. Cosecant of negative t is the same thing as negative cosecant, okay? So negative cosecant of t, but this is where you look at your other card, okay? So cosecant is the same as 1 over y. And if you look at this, remember cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, okay? So this is where you have to know all these properties. So it's the reciprocal of sine over t, okay? So cosecant is the reciprocal of this. So basically, all I have to do is do the reciprocal of 1/3, and 1/3 is 3. And so we have a negative, so our answer is going to be -3, okay? So this is how I use both cards, okay? All right, you didn't quite understand this. Hopefully you'll get this one again, okay? So here we go. Now we're working with tangent of 4 over 5. Remember, this is the value of tangent of t. So now they want us to solve for tangent of negative t. So I'm going to look at my index card, and this one doesn't give me, this one doesn't help me for that. So I have to look at the one on page 269. So tangent of negative t is the same as negative tangent of t, okay? And so notice they gave us tangent of t. So my answer should just be -4 over 5 because tangent of t is 4/5. Okay, so it's just -4 over 5. And the next one is cotangent of t. And so I look at this one, and I don't want to work with this one because we're not working with the negative. So I don't need this. I just need this one. Cotangent of t is x over y. But if you compare it to tangent, it's the reciprocal. So my answer here is simply the reciprocal of the original, tangent of t. So it's just 5 over 4. Okay? And that's it for that one. All right, awesome. Let's move on to the next example. All right, boys and girls, the next part is basically example 3. And it's using a calculator, and this is going to help you for numbers 53 to 68. Okay, and I'm doing two examples that are not in your book. So sine of 3 pi over 8 and cosecant of 3. Notice how none of them have a degree, so we're actually going to be working with radians. So the first thing you need to do, depending on what calculator, you need to change it to radians. If you look at mine, I'm going to zoom in, okay? Okay, so depending on what calculator you have, change it to radians. If you look at mine's is in degree mode, okay? So you have to figure out how to change that on yours. It might just say rad, so just look for that. So for this one, I go to mode, and I scroll down, and I just move it from degree to radians, okay? You'll know when you have to use degree because it'll have a number with the degree symbol. If it doesn't have a number with the degree symbol, it's automatically radians. Remember we talked about this last time. So if you see the pi, automatically radians. If you see a number by itself but no degree, it's automatically radians, okay? So change it to radians and then get out of there. And you know it's still in radians when it says radians, okay? So to use the calculator, super simple, guys. So all you're going to do is press, let me zoom in, is press your sign and my sign. If you guys notice here, we have sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay, so all you have to do is press sine and then 3, and then my calculator has the pi. So I'm going to leave the pi, okay? And then divided by 8. Okay, and then press enter, and then this is what you should get. So depending on what the directions say, they might say round to the nearest tenth, hundredth, thousandth, 10,000. So something like this, we usually tell students to round to 4 decimal places. So usually we might say 10,000. I don't know. Sometimes it's just different. Okay, so I say just stick to 4. If it doesn't specify, stick to 4. So we're going to have 0.9239. Okay? So 0.9239. And it's just an approximation. Obviously, the numbers are longer. Okay? And then here's the next one. So cosecant. So if you notice, we just have sine, cosine, and tangent. So I'm going to show you how to access cosecant, but you guys, if you recall, cosecant is actually the reciprocal of sine. So to be honest, I would just take a shortcut and instead of dig for it in your calculator, just do sine of 3 and you get this, but it's actually the reciprocal. So another way you could do it is you could press 1 divided by, and I'm going to put parentheses, sine of 3. And the only reason I'm going to put parentheses is I want to make sure that it divides it. And I always tell my students, when in doubt, just put parentheses. Okay. Notice the answer changed as soon as I put it 1 over sine, because remember, it was the reciprocal of this. Okay. So my number should be 7.086, and then I'm going to go with 2, okay? So 7.0862. Again, some of you might have the cosecant, and I'm going to show you how to find that. But to me, it's quicker just to do that, the reciprocal. All right, boys and girls, I was trying to look for the button that had cosecant, maybe secant, and cotangent, and I couldn't find it, and I went to the catalog where it holds all of them, and it wasn't there, so most likely this calculator doesn't have it, okay? But honestly, by the time you hunt and search for it in an application within, it takes you a lot longer than just to do the reciprocal, okay? So to me, the reciprocal is the easiest. You might have a calculator that might do it, okay? But this is easy. All right, guys, we are officially done. So I'm going to give you some homework and some practice on your own. Okay? All right, good luck.